Hi guys, Paul here. Today I'm going to be doing my shave of the day with a special brush that I just received last week. This brush is a brush that's made by Shavmac in collaboration with Geooff Anderson, and this is the brush right here. This is the Shavmac Geooff Anderson collaboration brush, and this particular one has I believe a briarwood handle with a kind of clear acrylic center, and then a amber colored resin up above. The knot in here is a knot I've been really wanting to try for quite some time. This is the relatively new 2-band knot from Shavmac. Up until just recently, the only 2-band they had was the DO1 2-band, which was a fairly scrubby brush. The knot was pretty dense. The bristles were thick and had a tremendous amount of backbone, but it was still pretty scrubby. And you know, for people who like kind of a little bit more scrub, that's a great brush. But I like something a little bit softer than that. And so I was really anxious to try this. This is supposed to be much softer than their DO1 2-band, so I was really excited when I got this. And so there you go. I don't know if you can see that. Nah, probably not. It just says Shavmac, designed by Geooff Anderson. So we're going to go ahead and give that brush a go today. I'm going to be using the Mitchell's Wool Fat soap. And for the razor, I'm going to be using my this is a Thiers-Assard razor that is made for art of shaving, and this is the one with the ram's horn handle. And these are pretty cool. Every one of these, because they're made from actual natural horn, all of them have a little bit different characteristic to them. Mine is kind of a lighter on one side, and then has some dark spots on the other. I've seen some really beautiful ones that are dark and kind of striped. But this is really a nice razor. It's just the blade's pretty simple, just a typical 5/8 round point, hollow ground carbon steel blade. But I'm going to go ahead and use that today. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started. Just going to wet my face, and then we'll lather up and just get to the shave here and see how this brush does. So just going to kind of shake the brush out a little bit, and then I'll go ahead and start building some lather. So I usually keep my wool fat soap with a little bit of water on it. This, when it dries out, if you don't use it a lot, it tends to kind of crack and stuff. So, and I found if you leave a little bit of water on it, it actually seems to lather a little bit easier. So when you go to use it. So anyways, here we go. I'm just going to put a little bit of this Proto Lather on my face. And then I'll just keep lathering this up on the puck. I just keep building the lather until it kind of thickens up a little bit. My brush seems to be lathering that soap pretty nicely, so we'll go ahead and look like it's probably loaded enough here. So we'll go ahead and just the brush does have some nice backbone to it, but the tips are nice and soft. This does feel significantly softer to me than the DO1 silver tip. And maybe not quite as dense, but still the backbone is really nice on this brush. I'm going to have to say I'm pretty impressed with this knot. To me it feels similar in face feel to the Simpson Silver Tip Badger 2-band knot that I have on my chubby. It may not, I don't think it's quite as dense as that knot, but it's pretty darn close. And I love the M7 style handle. It's an homage to the Simpson M7. I'm a huge fan of that style of handle. I like the way they feel in your hand. that little bulb on the end gives you something to grip onto, and you can kind of hold it back a little bit so you're not getting as much soap all over your fingertips. So that's looking pretty good. Just going to go ahead and set the brush aside. I'll just pick up the rest of the lather there on the puck. And I'll just set this down, rinse it off so I don't drop this ceramic bowl. Get some of this excess off here. Alright, just going to dry the hands off and apply a little bit of alum. So it's left of my Razor Rock little alum block. I've had this for, I don't know, probably a year and a half or something like that. And I use it every time that I straight shave. I like to put a little alum on my finger just to help grip the skin a little bit. So the wool fat, for me, always really provides a nice lather. The lather is nice and slick, and the thing I really like about this soap is that it does have kind of a moisturizing effect on your skin, which is really nice. And I believe that's due to the lanolin in the soap, and thus the lanolin is also what gives it its name. Lanolin is in case you don't know, is a fat that comes from sheep. And also, the lanolin also is what some people have a sensitivity to in this soap and can't use it. It does have some allergenic properties, and some people cannot tolerate that lanolin in the soap. So the scent of this soap, I know there's probably not many guys out there that have not tried the soap, but just kind of a nice, clean, soapy scent. Almost kind of medicinal, I guess you would say. But the thing I like about it is that, you know, I don't have to worry about the smell of the soap conflicting with my aftershave or trying to match an aftershave with this soap. I can pretty much use any aftershave I feel like, which I really like. Okay, time for pass number 2. A little more alum on the fingers there. I really like the way the Sard razors feel. I have a couple of them, and they seem to shave really well for me. I like the way the blade feels. They seem to hold a pretty good edge. It seems to last a good amount of time. So these carbon steel blades are a little bit easier to hone. The steel seems to be easier to sharpen than like a stainless steel blade. The only trade-off is of course the carbon steel blades are going to require a little bit more maintenance. You have to make sure they're dried off really well before you put them away. Maybe put a little oil on them. And what I will use to oil my blades is I just use a little bit of mineral oil. I'll just, when I get done drying it and whatnot, I'll take a little piece of toilet paper, put a little mineral oil on it, and just put a light coating over the blade, and then I'll store it that way. And then when I'm ready to use it again, I'll just wipe that off and strop it up. So. Okay, third and final pass. And again, this brush is nice, holds a good amount of lather, seems to release it pretty well. It's not, doesn't seem to be a real lather hog. All in all, I'm pretty impressed with this brush. Comfortable in the hand, nice and soft, and whips up a nice lather. Okay, third and final pass. Alright, here we go. All done. I'm going to wipe the heavy water off the razor. I'll set that aside and clean that up here a little bit. I'm just going to rinse off my face here. A little cold water. And then I'm just going to apply a little alum. Usually after my straight shaves I will apply a little alum. This gives me a little feedback as to how I did with the shave. If I have any, if I have any stinging or whatever, that lets me know that maybe I pushed a little too hard in that area. And the nice thing about the alum too is it does have some antiseptic qualities to it. Kind of helps close the pores, heal the skin. I do not let this leave this on my face. I'll just put it on, a nice little coating of it, and then I'll go ahead and then just wipe it off with a washcloth. And I'm just going to rinse the brush off here real quick before I apply my aftershave. So I'll give you a look at it again. So there you go, guys. That is the Geooff Anderson Shavemac collaboration brush with the Shavmac 2-band bulb shaped knot. Love the brush. Good job, Geooff. Good job, Shavmac. Thank you very much for the time you spent putting that thing together. And guys, I would highly recommend this knot if you want a knot with good backbone, nice soft tips. And like 2 bands, this would be one to consider in either one, something like this or one of the other Shavmac handles. It's really a great knot. So, and I like that. I have to say, I really do like that a lot better than the DO1 2-band. For me, it works. It's just better. It's softer and still has good backbone, but not quite as scrubby. And I think as time has gone on, and I've used more and more brushes, I've kind of you know, come to the point where I like a good Badger brush. I like it to have decent backbone, but I also like it to be fairly soft. I don't like it to be, you know, just a mop, but I like to have some softness and some springiness to the bristles, and this really fits that bill nicely. So for the aftershave, I'm just going to be using the Ginger's Garden Suede. This one I had a little extra menthol added. I really like it. It's kind of a nice, clean, well-mannered leather scent. Kind of along the lines of like a Tom Ford Tuscan leather sort of thing. Doesn't smell exactly like this, and of course this one is somewhat affected by the menthol in it, which I don't mind. I love the menthol level in this. And I really do like the Ginger's Garden aftershaves. Some people might not like them because they do have some aloe vera, so they do have a slight tackiness to them. But they can be, they do still have a bracing effect, but yet they're moisturizing at the same time, and it really doesn't require using any sort of balm with them. They're kind of an all-in-one product. So anyways, guys, that's a shave today. I know it was a little long because I use a straight razor, but I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you soon. Bye.